Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQCAW. And as always, NoDQ.com, your source for the very latest in WWE and TNA. Also your source for WWE TLC pay-per-view coverage this Sunday. NoDQ.com, the place to be for news and rumors regarding TLC, and of course, the live results as the pay-per-view is going on. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. This first one comes from Anti-Stress Kid. Hi Aaron, do you think that the PG ratings have anything to do with the low Raw ratings? Not really. I think that there's two main reasons that the Raw ratings are down. Number one is football. Every year, Raw always takes a hit in the ratings around September to January. And once football ends and the build to Royal Rumble begins, you usually see the Raw ratings go up. And I think the other main reason is the fact that Raw is a 3-hour show. I think that the 3-hour Raws are hurting WWE. I think that you're oversaturating the product, and it's just too much. And I think it becomes a chore to some fans to have to watch Raw every week. I mean, you have to watch a 3-hour show and sit through it, and it becomes more of a chore than it is fun. And it should never be a chore to watch Raw. You know, you should want to watch, and you should want to look forward to the next week, not dread it. So I think that if they do go back to the 2-hour Raws and, you know, they start that build for Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania, I could see the ratings going back to their normal levels. When people talk about the greatest performers, why do wrestlers and fans not mention Sting much? Not TNA Sting, but WCW Sting. He was an amazing performer from 1988 through 2001. Shouldn't he be recognized as one of the all-time greatest performers? I do think he should be recognized. He was a great performer in his heyday, and even in recent years, he's always been one of the better performers on the TNA roster. I think that Sting is the perfect example of what happens when you're not involved in WWE and you're not part of the WWE marketing machine. You get left behind. You're forgotten about, and I think that that's one unfortunate circumstance of Sting not being in WWE, that it's hurt his legacy a little bit, and he doesn't have that mainstream platform to be able to stay recognized, you know, with the next generation of wrestling fans. So hopefully one day Sting will get into the Hall of Fame, and you know, he'll be recognized for his accomplishments, and I think that that'll get him more admiration and more people talking about him. But yeah, because he hasn't been in WWE, you know, there hasn't been a DVD put out by WWE about Sting, and he's never appeared in a WWE ring, and I think that has hurt his legacy a little bit, definitely. Hey Aaron, please answer on video. There are rumors going around that Shelton Benjamin and MVP might return. What is your opinion on that? From Michael in Wyoming. I would love to see both of them back in WWE, and I'm sure most of the people watching this video would love to see them back. I think that MVP had a lot of potential to be a main event superstar, and things just didn't work out. And I think a lot of it had to do with WWE not pushing him hard enough. I think if he comes back, he would have a decent shot at being a major superstar. He's a great talker, and he's a great wrestler, and he's clearly a guy that wants to learn and continue to improve his craft. And you know, he studies tapes in Japan. He's working in Japan, and I think he would do really well if he came back to WWE. Now, he's denying the rumors that he's coming back, and he says that he hasn't had any contact with them. But hopefully at some point him and WWE will talk, if they haven't, and we'll see him back one day. I think that it would definitely be good for him to come back soon, because he is you know, he's not the youngest wrestler around. He is getting up there. I think he's in his late 30s, early 40s, somewhere around there. But yeah, hopefully sooner than later. You know, the sooner he comes back, the more of a chance he'll have at being a top superstar. And as far as Shelton Benjamin goes, I don't see him ever being a major superstar again in WWE, but he could come back and help out a lot of the younger talent. I think that he would be a good hand, and he would be able to help out a lot of the younger superstars, the up-and-coming stars. So yeah, I do think WWE could gain a lot from bringing back Shelton Benjamin. This one comes from the John Harris. All right, John Harris, a former No DQ discussion group member. Hopefully he'll come back at some point. Do you think that there's a plan to have someone join the Shield at TLC similar to what happened with the NWO? Perhaps CM Punk. I could see at some point the Shield uniting with CM Punk and Paul Heyman, and I do think it's a good idea for them to get the rub off of CM Punk and Paul Heyman, especially Paul Heyman. I think that Paul Heyman would be a great mouthpiece for the Shield, and getting those three guys over with the audience and helping them get over as heels. I would love to see Paul Heyman as their mentor. And yeah, I could very well see the five of them being a collective group. But beyond that, I think I talked about this in a previous video. Don't add any more members. I mean, it's always possible they could add more NXT guys, but I think that that's a mistake. I think that it's good to focus on the three guys they have right now. And if one of them got seriously hurt or something, you could bring in another guy, but keep it at three. You know, those three guys, and then if you want to throw in CM Punk and Paul Heyman and make them, you know, a 5-person faction, I have no problem with that. And I actually think it would be a good thing. This one comes from Maddie Dawn. Greetings from Australia. Would you like to see Brock Lesnar win the Rumble and face The Rock for the WWE title at WrestleMania 29? It's something that nobody would expect. Please answer in video. I've talked about this before, that I'm not really crazy about the idea of Rock facing Cena again and Brock Lesnar facing Triple H again. I would love to see something different. I would love to see a match that we haven't really seen before. And now, I know we've seen The Rock and Brock Lesnar before. We saw it at SummerSlam 2002, but it's been so long, so much time has passed, and I think that that would be a huge match because Brock Lesnar still has the name value coming off of UFC, and of course The Rock, the movie star. I think that that match would generate a ton of mainstream publicity, and I would love to see it. Now, I have my doubts that it'll happen. I think that it's a long shot because both guys are part-time superstars, and I think WWE wants to have matches with at least one full-time performer in there. I just don't see them doing a match with 2 part-time guys. Just don't think it'll happen. This is from BCruz16, a regular question contributor. Hey Aaron, if you had to choose, would you rather be a main event player in TNA or a lower to mid card superstar in WWE? That's a good question. I think it would have to do with money and if I'm having fun. Those are the two things. You want to make money and you want to have fun. I don't have a big issue with traveling, so I mean I would be fine doing a WWE gig. But then again, with TNA, you know, you can work, you know, a limited number of dates, and you don't have to travel as much. So there's pros and cons to each one. I'm not the kind of person who needs to be famous or have people know who I am. So, you know, some people might go to WWE for the stardom, you know, the chance to be you know, famous or whatever. I would just go where I could make the most money and deal with the least amount of stress. So whatever that is, that would be my option. All right, this last one comes from Crayon4810. The Rock's 2 matches since his return have been somewhat underwhelming. It probably has more to do with writing than booking than Rock's in-ring ability. But do you think we will ever see another Rock match that becomes a classic? You have to keep in mind that The Rock is still doing Hollywood movies in addition to WWE, so he's not going to take any kind of crazy risks. He doesn't want to jeopardize a potential movie deal. He's lucky enough as it is, getting time away from the sets to come and do the WWE appearances and do the matches. Obviously, he's doing a lot of training and getting himself in tremendous shape for these matches, but he's not going to be taking crazy bumps and doing things that could jeopardize his movie roles. Just not going to happen. So they are going to protect him, and he's going to protect himself. And entertain the people, but stay safe and not take too many chances. So don't expect, Rock to be going through tables or, doing those kind of crazy stunts. But he can still, put on an entertaining match. He's The Rock. He doesn't need to take the crazy risks. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter. Keep spreading the word. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for TLC pay-per-view coverage. And I'll see you next time for more No DQ&A video.